There's a moment right before a marriage breaks when you can feel the floor shifting under your feet. For me, it happened on a quiet Tuesday night over leftover pasta and lukewarm wine. My wife, Hannah, sat across from me, twirling her fork the way she always did when she was building up to something. She didn't smile. She didn't even look nervous. She just sighed, lifted her eyes, and said, "Jake, we should talk about opening our marriage." The fork slipped out of my hand. At first I thought she was joking. We'd been together 8 years. We weren't perfect, but we were solid, or at least I thought we were. But she kept talking, calm, confident, rehearsed. She said she needed excitement, wanted to explore, and didn't want to feel trapped. She used every modern self-help word you can think of: growth, freedom, reinvention. Then she said something that stuck like a knife. "It's not like you'd ever find anyone, out of your league." She laughed, light, casual, but I felt it in my bones. She wasn't just opening the marriage. She was opening a door to walk away while expecting me to stay exactly where she left me. I agreed, not because I wanted to, but because I didn't want to beg someone to stay. For weeks, she floated around the house like a teenager in love. New clothes, new perfumes, late nights out, secretive texts she pretended I didn't see. She thought she was glowing. She thought I wasn't paying attention, but I was. I just wasn't reacting the way she expected. She thought I'd break. She thought I'd wait. She thought I'd stay in the corner she'd put me in. Then came the night everything changed. I was at a friend's small get-together. Nothing big, just music, food, and quiet conversations. And that's when I saw her. Olivia Bennett, my old college acquaintance. The one everyone admired from a distance. Smart, beautiful, confident. The kind of woman who carried her presence like sunlight. Subtle but powerful. The woman Hannah always said was way out of my league. I hadn't seen Olivia in years, and she looked even more radiant than I remembered. She recognized me instantly, her face lighting up with a genuine smile. "Jake, wow, it's been so long." We talked. We laughed. We fell into an easy rhythm that felt right, natural. She remembered details about me I'd forgotten myself. She asked about my job, my guitar hobby, whether I still cooked on weekends. She wasn't distracted, wasn't bored, wasn't glancing at her phone every 2 minutes the way Hannah had begun doing with me. She listened. When the night ended, she touched my arm lightly and said, "Don't disappear again. I like talking to you." For the first time in months, I felt something warm inside my chest. Hope. Over the next few weeks, Olivia and I talked more. Long conversations, shared jokes, late-night messages. She wasn't flirting. She was connecting, and I realized how starved I'd been for connection. One night, she confessed softly, "I always wondered why you never asked me out in college." I laughed. "Because Hannah told me I never had a chance." Olivia blinked slowly. "You should have decided that for yourself." It felt like being hit with truth I wasn't ready for. A few days later, Olivia invited me to a small art exhibition. I almost said no. I felt guilty, confused, unsure. But when I walked into the gallery and saw her standing there in a pale blue dress, waiting for me with that warm smile, the guilt melted, replaced by something quiet and undeniable. She walked toward me. "You look nervous," she teased gently. "I am," I admitted. "You don't have to be. Not with me." That night didn't end with a kiss or anything dramatic. It ended with her hand brushing mine as we walked to her car. A small touch, but it felt like electricity. A week later, something happened that sealed everything. I came home one evening and found Hannah pacing in the living room, agitated. "We need to talk," she said sharply. I knew the tone. It wasn't guilt. It was entitlement. "Are you seeing someone?" she snapped. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Her eyes widened with disbelief. "You? With who?" I stayed silent. She stepped closer. "You can't be serious, Jake. Be realistic. A woman like that?" Her sentence faltered because she knew. She knew exactly who it was. "Olivia," she whispered, stunned. I nodded once. She laughed in disbelief, shaking her head. "No, no way. She's out of your league." And that, right there, was when everything inside me shifted. I felt the anger, the humiliation, the months of being taken for granted rise, all at once. "You opened our marriage," I said calmly. "You told me to explore. You said I'd never find someone better." Her face twisted. "I didn't think you'd actually—" "That's the problem," I interrupted. "You never thought I could be wanted by anyone else. You never saw me as more than safe." She froze. "And she doesn't see me that way," I added. Hannah folded onto the couch, her hands shaking. I thought you'd always wait for me." "I did," I said quietly, "until waiting meant losing myself." There was no shouting, no dramatic ending, just a hollow silence where love used to live. A month later, Hannah moved out, and Olivia? She didn't replace my wife. She reminded me I was more than the box I'd been kept in. One night, while we sat on her balcony sharing a bottle of wine, she rested her head gently on my shoulder and whispered, "You know, you were never out of my league. You were just with the wrong person." And for the first time in a long time, I believed it.